Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Silent Pig Gamer and I'm back here with a review for you guys. So, a little bit about me. Horror has been a part of my life since I was a very little bitty. And horror is something that me and my family, back in the day when we used to have events or, we just wanted to hang out and spend time with each other, horror was a top on our list when it comes to movies. So, literally just now, me and my husband,
Spoiler
we just
alert.
finished Insidious. For me, it's like the 6th or 7th time. For my husband, it's like the 2nd or 3rd time. And I wanted to watch it again because it's been a while. And after I watch it, once again, the movie hits the exact same way. So I wanted to do a review for you guys because there are a few individuals that have never seen this movie. And I'm here to lay you down the facts. And actually, I'm going to gush over this movie because just watching it is the reason why I truly do adore and love this movie. So let's get into it. I don't want the opening intro to be too long. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm definitely going to try to hit it from point, if that makes sense. But of course, if you're new to the family, if you've never seen this channel or seen me before, please definitely give the video a like. And definitely, if you want to join the family, please join the family. And you know what to do. Subscribing is free. It doesn't cost nothing at all. And definitely turn on your alerts so you can get more videos from me. So that being said, let's get into Insidious. So Insidious is a movie about a family of 4. You have mother, father, of course. You have Dalton. And you have his younger brother and his baby sister. Now, the movie starts off where they're moving into a new home. You find out that the dad is a teacher. Mom is a stay-at-home mom. And it gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's cute. They're a cute family. So as the family is moving into this home, little things start to happen. Like she'll put the books on the shelf and then they'll be on the floor. Obviously it's not strange having small children, so it makes sense why it doesn't ring any alarm. Now, the first time it rings the alarm is when she's home alone and she's trying to listen to music. The 2 boys are at school and there's a little baby monitor. And if you're not aware, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, but it's a little voice monitor that sits anywhere in the home. You put one in the baby's room, and if any sounds, if the baby wakes up and cry, you can hear the baby from any point of the home. So when she hears that, she's hearing whispering. She's hearing strange noises in the little monitor. So she's like, okay, what's going on? One part I didn't like about it, though, like as a mom, I would be walking up the stairs as I'm listening, but she kind of stays at the bottom of the stairs. That part I did not like, but I understand due to story progression, she can't make too much fast, especially if she doesn't know. And also too, baby sleeping, don't want to wake up baby, especially if it's nothing, because believe it or not, walkies and monitors pick up things around as well, like outside. Like I remember talking to my mom on the phone, miss you mom, love you, and we can hear static and other people, like our phone was picking up other people on the other side when they were nowhere near our house. So it happens, it's not strange. So I can get why she's probably thought it was just whatever. But then eventually the noise gets louder. She can hear it kind of coming through the floor or through the bars because, she's downstairs. So I was like, at that point, girl, what you doing? Why are you standing there just looking? Go up the stairs. So eventually she hears like a loud, like, give it to me, or, I want it. And she drops it and so as she's flying up the stairs, she opens the door. She sees someone standing over her daughter. At that point, she freaks out. She grabs the baby. The baby's up crying. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, how do you explain that? So during the story, she's basically experiencing things. Like, the one that really tripped me out was when there were so many good points. When she was going through and seeing the guy behind her daughter's bed, obviously, husband don't believe nothing. And then at this point too, around this time, Dalton, one of the most important characters at this moment too, is he goes up to the attic where his mom told him not to go play. He climbs on the ladder trying to turn on the light because it's dark. He falls off and hit his head from the back. Now, if you watch the movie, watch it. keep in mind, he hit his head on the back. He didn't fall from the front, because that doesn't make sense. He hit it from the back. So of course he's looking around the shadows. He hears something and he screams. Obviously, mommy, daddy, and baby brother and baby sister is downstairs with mom and dad. They hear the scream and the crying. They run upstairs. Okay, and daddy, comes to Dalton. He's crying on the floor. He's like, "What happened? You hit her head." And then you notice he has a red mark on his head. He did not fall on his front of his head. He fell on the back. So how did he get a scar up here? Yes. So, during literally the next day, he ends up not waking up. Daddy's trying to wake him up. He's not waking up. So then doctors say he's in a coma, but he's not really in a coma. We don't really know what, So basically the doctor's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. We have to take more tests, blah, 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 blah. So 3 months passed. And mom is distraught. You can tell by her face. Obviously, you notice that, your baby is not awake. Something's wrong. And she knows something deep down inside. Something's not right. So, of course, when the nurse, there's a point in time, I can talk, I promise. So there's one point in time when the nurse is trying to explain to her and talking to her and trying to give her confidence. And she was about to change his sheets. And she's like, "No, I got it. And then she noticed a red handprint on the sheets. So at that time, husband been staying at work late because, wife is talking about craziness. Babies keep crying. He's tired. He's exhausted. I get it. But as a father, you need to be a little bit more supportive. But I get it, bro." So when he gets home, you can tell he's been out since 10:30, and she makes a note like, "Hey, you've been out every single night till 10, 11 o'clock at night, bro. You've been out late every time." And she throws the sheets and there's a handprint. And at this point in time, I guess, honestly, I can't say I guess. I'm pretty sure he doesn't believe what she's saying, but at the same time too, he has no really way to understand it either. He just doesn't know what to do. He's stuck. He's really just lost. And you get that feel from him. He wants to help, but he doesn't know how. He's tired. He's stressed. He's the only one working. Like, what do you do out of all that stress? And he chooses the avoidance, the avoidance way. And she's trying to take it head on herself. So eventually, they move. So because she's just like, I don't want to be in this house, because there's one point in time at night when she wakes up at 1. It was like 1:53, and when she first wake up, of course we see that there's somebody's walking past her window, and then she didn't notice at first because she's probably wiping her eyes, waking up, and then she saw it the second time, and then eventually he comes in. Like, it does a really cool transition, and he comes in and comes at her, and she screams, "Holy Jesus, please help me!" And husband's sleeping on the couch because husband's is not really supporting her at this moment. And next thing you know it, he's like, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me?" She's like, "I want to move. I want to leave." So they eventually move to a new home. So when his mom comes and helps move to a new home, she's feeling refreshed and happy, even though she's not as happy as she could because baby is still under. But hey, she's happy enough. So then when she, clean up the house, she takes the trash out, the music that she would listen to changed, and there's like a little shadow kid, and I love that scene. I absolutely love that scene. The music was perfect, and it was so eerie. And that's one thing I want to talk about too, is the whole soundtrack.
Song is called Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Setting the scene was perfect. The acting was amazing. And yes, there's going to be people that disagree with me, but it's really, really good. And it kept me on my toes. It kept me guessing. And the soundtrack is everything. If you play horror games, the soundtrack has to be on point. If it's not going to work. I'm sorry. Even if you have cool elements and cool creatures and cool, spirits and whatever, it's not going to work, excuse me, by the way, if the soundtrack is not on point. So then when she sees that, she's just like, I need help. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. So she comes in, she follows this shadow spirit. At this point, you can tell she just want to know what the hell's going on. She eventually gets to a cupboard, and a little boy comes out. She's literally playing hide and seek with this ghost spirit demon entity. And she was just like, how do you explain that? Like, it went from a shadow, and then she's following like a wind. And then she goes in, and then she sees a little boot sticking out of the cupboard. And spoiler alert, I'm probably going to put spoiler alerts all over this. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch my video, but definitely give it a like. Because, like I said, it's free. But yeah, spoiler alert. So there will be some spoilers. But yeah, so you see the little boot. Kid jumps out. Haha, laughy. Woo. And she's like, I'm losing my freaking mind. She needs help, so eventually when husband come home, there's a preacher in the home. He tries to crack a joke. It wasn't very funny because you can tell she's stressed. She's very stressed. She doesn't know what's going on. And she's like, I'm not afraid for me. I'm basically afraid for Dalton. Something's going on. Something she knows. So during this time, she eventually gets his mom basically suggests her call basically like a medium of sorts. And eventually when they come to this home, they basically inform them that he's not in a coma. He's basically actually projected himself somewhere beyond. And it's somewhere where the living should not go. It's where the dead and tortured souls are. And he's stuck. He's lost. And of course, as she goes in more detail of what's going on, the husband's kind of like, nah. I don't believe all this. You gotta go. You're scamming me. It has to be something that the doctor's not, just, you can tell that he's just stuck. You know what I mean? He's just lost. And there's one point in time that I did forget to skip over that I feel like it's crucial because me and my husband were talking about this part. And it was crucial because whenever mommy and his mother was trying to explain to him, like, hey, this stuff is real. I went through it. Like, this is not something to joke about. And she sees the demon bus. First of all, that scene with the demon behind the head was legit. That scared the shit out of me out of the first time I seen it. Good morning, my daughter. My little baby just woke up. But you see the demon, and then you hear something's going on in Dawson's room, like loud thumpings, like shit's going on, like a battle royale is going in that room. And obviously he's in a coma, so it's like, go get my son, I gotta go get him. He couldn't open the door until the very last station. And then the fact that his room was destroyed, just red handprints everywhere, he was on the floor, knocked the F out, you know what I mean? Like, how do you explain that? You can tell as a father, he didn't know, how do you explain that? He just thinks it's a hoax. He just has to be a reason for all this. So eventually, he sends them on his way. Elise. I love Elise. She has the most perfect personality to do this. She's calm, she's warm, but she's also straight to the point and blunt. I love her two guys as well. They're really fun. I'll put their names down here as well. But it's just, they're a wonderful trio. So eventually they end up calling him back because he's like, where are you? Did you float away? He's talking to his son out in the open in his room. Then he eventually looks at his drawing. So he sees the red faced creature that his mom seen that was in the drawing. He's seeing it, and his son had to show him via picture. And why did it have to take that long? But I get it. So he eventually is like, okay, I'm on board. Let's do this. I might not completely believe it, but let me do it for my family. So eventually, throughout this movie, it's to me, it's A+++, because seeing the transition of the family, seeing them, that all the distraught and pain and confusion and stress that they're going through. And then eventually, when Elise and her team are brought into the picture, of course they don't know what to expect. They're confused. But the table scene, when they were sitting down trying to contact Dalton and try to get him out of the further, and they're in his room, lights are dimmed. She has this gigantic gas mask on with a little tube that's connected to her friend, and it has headphones, and shit bust loose. So after things are like, people are flying against the wall, entities are coming from like the closets, grabbing mom and dad up against the wall, like giving them ham. Dalton is asleep, but he's being controlled by the entity, by the insidious entity. He does this major thing, everybody. It's just chaos. And at that point, they knew, like, he's in danger. So as she's, explaining it, it's basically the further he's away from his body, his spirit, his soul, and, the entities are getting closer to him. And the farther he's away, the line, I'm over here stuttering because my niece, it was a pause me, my niece was gushing about Pokemon, so bear with me. So, the tether, the line, the string becomes thinner. So he's in serious danger. So eventually, mom reveals like, hey, you used to be able to do this too. This is why me and Lisa are best friends, because you went through the same similar situation. It was an old woman. Now I'm gonna tell you about that. Those pictures creeped me the fuck out. When I first seen that movie, something about the energy of the pictures, something about the energy of that old woman, she freaked me out more than the demon. Something about her is eerie and off-putting, and it just made me severely uncomfortable. They did her correct. They did her proper. So seeing the pictures, I was just like, come on now, we gotta do something. Like, I was stuck on her for a very long time. So I absolutely love the entity, the old woman entity. So during this, he eventually gets in. They put him under once he find out that he used to do this when he was a kid, and this old woman has been after him. He goes in. He goes into the further. It looks like his home, but there's spirits, there's entities, there's male violent spirits in this home, and you can tell by their design. And I love how their design wasn't overdone. They didn't add these crazy decorations or ornaments to them. They were just perfect, just the way they are. Absolutely, just the makeup, the fog, everything was just amazing. The way they did the home, the house, it was just, everything was just, thank you, devs. Thank you, producer. Thank you. You don't need to be over the top to make something great. And that's what a lot of people tend to fail to realize. You don't have to go over the top to make a great movie. So as he's walking through this home, he eventually encounters Dalton. He's chained. He's crying. He's hurt. And he remembers the pictures that are on his wall that he drew, that he saw. And eventually he makes note, he points to his dad like, hey, there's the demon, and he's looking back with these yellowish eyes. And I love the room of the entity, the demon, the insidious demon, because it's almost like he's like a hoarder of fine things and antiques, and it tells you his personality. Instantly you knew exactly what kind of person this was, and the fact that he was sharpening his claws, like, everything was just magnificent, okay? So then he's running. The demon comes down, tries to attack Daddy-O and son, and they gotta run. They gotta go. And eventually they get to the further, and you see all the spirits around them. They're trying to escape. And the part that I absolutely love is when they get to the home, trying to get back to their bodies. The demon crawling on the wall, chasing after the son, and father is just yelling at the old woman in the mirror, telling her, I'm not afraid of you. Like, you don't have time for this, bro. And instantly I knew something was wrong when he was still yelling at her, and she smiles. And at the time when I first seen it, I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, okay, he made it back. He woke up. He's hugging his wife. He's kissing his kids. Like, yay, Dalton's back. The next thing you know it, Elise looks at him, talking to him all happy, and then she sees something. And I was like, what does she see? And then when they finally reveal that Daddy-O, it's not Daddy-O. It's the old woman. He stuck, bro. He messed up. The old lady took over his body. That was the saddest, greatest. I had to see part 2. So that was my review. I absolutely love this movie. It's a really great watch. Now, yes, I've seen all the people making fun of the demon, making it say it looks like Darth Maul. I've heard all the memes and all that, but set aside of other people's opinion, because that's what it is. I'm not going to get mad for people's opinion. And that's one thing people have to understand. You can't get mad at other people's opinion. It's just the way the world is. I might love it and someone else might absolutely despise it. That's what it is. But you cannot knock what the producers and the developers did and the art. Oh my gosh, I can't speak because I'm just excited. When I see a movie like this, I get super excited and I can talk about it for a very long time. But the stage effects, everybody on this, they did amazing. And you have to give credit where credit is due. And they did amazing. The demon, the entities, the creatures, the spirits, the scene, the scenery, everything. And this is why I miss authentic horror movies. Really good horror movies. And you can tell when someone take their time. And I do look forward to the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. I'm kind of dreading it due to some latest information that I got. If you want that video of what I'm talking about, then give this video 100 likes. I won't be doing nothing until those likes go. But that being said, though, I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you do. I hope you, if you've never seen it, go check it out for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. But that being said, you guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy holidays, and I will see you on my next video. Goodbye, you guys.
Thank you, CapKit.